What up, big dog? How you living, gangster? Yes, sir. We back with another video. We're trying to stay consistent, so let's see if we could do this everyday thing.
What's the most famous love story ever told?
Oh my gosh, I guess like what would you say, Romeo and Juliet?
If the most famous love story has a man and a woman dying for each other, why are love stories usually framed where the man sacrifices himself for the woman?
Because he should. All men should sacrifice themselves.
What's the reason behind that? Where does that come from?
Why? Because men are destructive to society and women should reign.
I think it kind of goes.
Let me shut up.
Back to biblical times where the man should be the head of the household, they should make the sacrifices, the women just follow and be submissive, and the man leads.
I think that's kind of just the way that society's gone, where men are the ones who are supposed to fall on the sword, man's hands are dirty so that women's can be clean.
Because that's how it should be. I mean, if you're a provider, then you should be willing to lay your life down for your woman.
You know,
I don't want to say that's how it should be, but that's what the societal structure just became. But in reality, though, I don't think it should be this way, bro. Like, I think in reality, if two people are together, then both people should be doing something, nigga. Like, I don't believe in the men's doing the whole thing and the wife just sit there and be pretty. I don't believe in this shit, bro. At least me and my wife, we don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told my wife, hey, listen, if you don't want to work, that's fine. Like, I got it, but my wife is not one to sit down. You know what I'm saying? Because two people is always better than one. So the fact that people are convinced in their head that, because think about this, right? If you have if your husband makes, let's say, 50K a year, right? You could survive off that 50K a year for a whole family. Or now imagine if the wife and the husband are both making the same 50K. My nigga, that's 100 bands, bro. Like, it don't matter whatever it is that the wife can add, bro. Two people, if two people are together, then y'all both should be working towards the goal, nigga. There's no such thing as somebody's laying back and somebody's sacrificing themselves. This is why certain relationships, they don't last, because when it's all said and done, one person will always feel superior than the other one because they feel like they put more. It's just plain Jane. It's just common sense, bro. Like, what the fuck?
I don't have a problem being in the role as a man and like sacrificing for a woman that cares about me, but really the way that society is these days, in America especially, it's like the women want everything from the man and they're not willing to give anything in return. They want chivalry, but they're not willing to reciprocate with, you know, being in their feminine energy. It's really tough in this day and age, especially in Las Vegas, trying to date. You know, it's crazy.
Do you believe in 50-50 relationships or traditional roles, and why?
It depends. So me personally, I go for 50-50 because I love to work and I love to provide. But if a traditional, like where the man provides, works, then that's good for you.
Are we ready for this party?
Guests are on their way and food and drinks were just delivered.
Now what about the music?
How can relationships...
There's no such thing as 50-50 in relationships, bro. I don't believe in this. I just told y'all earlier. I believe in 100. You know what I'm saying? Because 50-50, that means you only putting half and they're only putting half and y'all still holding back. 100 to 100, bro. If y'all really gonna do this shit, do it. Otherwise, leave a motherfucker the fuck alone, bro.
relationships ever be 50-50 when the man's expected to sacrifice himself for the woman and serve her with chivalry?
That's a great question. I mean, it can be reciprocated.
It can go both ways. Like, the man can sacrifice while the woman is also sacrificed. So 50-50 can be the man sacrifices himself with chivalry, respect, and all that, and the woman is at home cooking, cleaning, taking care of the housely duties. That in itself is 50-50.
Why will men sacrifice their personal happiness for their family, while women will sacrifice their family for their personal happiness?
Ooh, that's a good one. So you can't just like paint a picture of it because it's different for every woman. I would say women are expected to, you know, literally give up everything. So it's okay, I would say, for a woman to choose herself for once, when in history she's always chose her family first.
I'd say that's just the way that society has etched it out at this point. Feminism has kind of corrupted the whole thought of sacrificing for your family. Feminists are kind of taking over, and it seems like they're mostly out here for themselves.
It's the most fucked up shit that could ever happen, bro. It's this fucking movement, cause it's literally destroying families. But it's not something nobody's gonna feel anytime now because the action is currently being done. You know what I'm saying? Like, you won't feel some shit like this until 10 years from now. Because after this is done, the family is broken. In that 10 years, this shit's literally soak in. So 10 years from now, you're gonna see the kids with fucked up mentality, like all type of, you're gonna see people fucked up in the head because of this. But it's and the worst part is the person that invented this shit and he's currently pushing it is probably not even a feminist themselves. But it's just people not thinking for themselves anymore, bro. They just following trends.
If a father of 2 kids sees a random woman attacked in public, should he intervene and protect that random woman?
I would say yes.
Well, if men are supposed to be protectors, why shouldn't they protect their own family first? Why should that man risk his life, potentially leaving his...
Ooh. That's a rough question. Hold on. Battery's dying.
own kids without a father?
I'm gonna be real with you. If I'm with my kids, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna help, because if my kids are in danger, bro, I don't think I'm gonna leave my kids in danger to go protect somebody else. Now, if I am able to put them somewhere where I know they're safe, then sure. You know what I'm saying? I'll go back and help. But as long as I know there's a hint of danger with my kids around, bro, R.I.P. It is what it is.
Ooh, like you got me there. It goes back to biblical. I feel like if he stands firm on what he believes in and helps, I think his family will be safe.
Should all men be held to biblical standards when not all men follow the Bible?
That's what's wrong with religion, though. They're thinking mad broad, bro.
I believe yes, but honestly, you can't be held to a standard that you don't understand or you don't have knowledge about.
So I would say a perfect example of this is like the man who was out with his girlfriend and she got jumped and he was defending his girlfriend and stuff like that. I believe that if you see danger, you should be willing to be the one to step in. Like, even me personally, if I saw that, I would be willing to step in and protect those people.
Now, continuing on that point, why should men be sent to war to fight someone else's battle?
Women are sent to war to fight someone else's battle as well.
But aren't men required to register for selective service, but not women?
That is true. Yes, they are, but that's just...
Else's battle.
Women are sent to war to fight someone else's battle as well.
But aren't men required to register for selective service, but not women?
That is true. Yes, they are. But that's just, again, if you want to go back to traditional roles, I mean, who set that system up? Men did.
They set this system up. Men set up the system to be empowered, to be in dirty positions, to separate gender roles. And I think that they should allow the fluidity of everybody entering in every role and every possibility that men think that they have to be part of.
Should men be willing to go to war and die for a country that seems to hate them?
Are we talking about all men or black men?
If men are more valued in society, why would they be the first ones sacrificed in war?
Probably because there'd be no chance of winning that war if we sent women to it.
Because of...
Oh, this nigga gonna get hate. Oh, you gonna get hate for this one, boy. But he ain't lying, though. He not lying.
Ones that set up that value in the society. The only reason that men are quote unquote more valued in society is because they set up that system so that women and anybody that's not a white cis man is valued more. So they should be the first to go to war and be sacrificed.
Why would women appreciate the sacrifices?
That shit ain't make an ounce of fucking sense, what he said, but sure.
To be the first to go to war and be sacrificed.
Why would women appreciate the sacrifices men make when men are required to make those sacrifices to qualify as a man?
I think that it's...
Wait, what? Hold on.
Or and be sacrificed.
Why would women appreciate the sacrifices men make when men are required to make those sacrifices to qualify as a man?
I think that it's preached throughout social media that women should just want more and more and more, and that intrinsically is going to translate into them not appreciating when a man actually does something for them.
Yeah, he's right though. I think it's mostly social media. Social media, but truthfully speaking, even before social media, there was movies. So I don't think it's social media. I think it's just people in their dreams, bro. that's literally it. But I mean, majority of people always dreaming for the best. So women in general, they always you know what I'm saying?
I think that men should take the bulk of responsibilities. It is their position in life. They're born into a world that is designed for them to be successful. If anybody has the best chance of being successful, it would be a man.
Bullshit. Anybody got a chance of being successful. You just gotta work. That's all. It ain't about men or women or whatever. No, it could be anybody, any gender. Just work.
So why aren't men the ones placed on a pedestal and entitled to go first instead of women?
Because men are a dime a dozen.
I mean, they could.
Nah, but then at the same times though, it would not make sense for a man to be on a pedestal, because I think it's like, you know, the protector of the pack always go last, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like the real motherfucker that's really doing the work, it's usually always in the shadow. So that's just what it is, bro. We're providing as men, but we're not doing it to get glory for it. We're doing it because, hey, that's what we're supposed to do. That's all.
And in this new generation, we got a lot of guys that want to. I wouldn't be interested in one of those men in particular, but again, that's just my personal preference.
What do women provide that justifies a man risking his life?
Well, it used to be feminine energy, the ability to reproduce, and being a homemaker that takes care of everything aside from a man going out and providing and protecting.
It's a little bit of both, bro. Cause yeah, it's a little bit of both. I wouldn't even say everything he said right now. I would just simplify it by saying if a woman is able to add whatever that's missing in that man's life, that's all. Because whatever it is that's missing could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going through their own shit. So, like in his situation, if you are able to add something to his situation where you make his situation better, that's your value. That's all.
Even if women did cook and clean, which they already do for themselves anyway, why would that be a fair trade for the sacrifices that men are expected to make?
Well, again, assuming that like you have traditional gender role.
I don't believe in this bullshit. This traditional gender role shit. I don't believe that. I was raised by my mom. My mom taught me to do the basic. Let me tell you something, bro. Washing your clothes, cooking, and cleanings, these are the very basic knowledge you need to know as a human being. Not as a man, not as a woman. These are all basic shit you need to know how to do as a human being. There is no gender specified to this shit, bro. So that's why this shit's always baffle me when people always say, oh, women should cook and clean and do dishes and men should... No, bruh. Like, and the nigga should still be able to get to his crib, wash it, cook and clean. And a woman should also be able to do that and go out and get to a move if needs to be, bro. Like, if y'all gonna be a power couple, be a power couple, bro. Otherwise, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, this is nah.
The cooking and the cleaning, a man has to do that for himself as well. So why would the expectation be that a woman would have to do that in exchange for anything? If I have to go to work and take care of myself and provide for myself, once I get a mate, I don't feel like that role ends. I personally don't like being dependent on anybody for my sole everything. Like, I think there should be a partnership. And if men want the respect, which is what I hear most men say, they want to be the king, I want to be the head, then you should take a bulk of the responsibilities if that is how you feel.
Because I think that's what men want.
That's a fair point, though. I mean, you can't really argue with that.
Men want somebody that's going to take care of them in the home, and I think women want somebody that's going to protect and provide for them traditionally.
If you expect a traditional role, and you're, out providing, making money, bringing home the bacon, why wouldn't you expect your woman to?
My nigga, you can't be talking about traditional role, bro. There's some shit that was like damn near over like 100 years ago. That's what traditional role was. That traditional role term, when was that term invented? Just so I could put it in perspective for you, right? Let's ask ChatGPT. When was traditional term invented? Okay, so the term gender role. So the term gender roles was introduced by psychologist John Mooney around 1955, as social science began separating biological sex from social expectation. So this is some shit that somebody decided to invent about 50 years ago, when fucking a nigga that was working at fucking Domino's Pizza was able to buy a house, buy 2 cars, and still have money left for the month. This when this shit was invented. Like, but what was the average house price in 1950? Come on, chat. You're doing me wrong. Alright, hold on. Hold on. ChatGPT bugging. Bruh. Alright, hold on. Cause this is. Let's see. Let's Google this shit. Watch this. What was the average house price in 1950? The median home price in the US was around $7,354. Now, watch this. What is the average price in 2025? Now. The average house price in 2025 is $512,000. Now, how can you compare some shit like this? Now, how can you try to take the same traditional values that were in the 1950s and try to implement these in 2025? Right, nigga, you go from $7,000 to damn near $500,000. What the fuck? This shit ain't real, bro.
You know, be at home taking care of the house. I would say that's a completely fair trade because that's an additional job taken off your shoulders.
Do Christians believe that men should be like Jesus, sacrificial, while women should be like the Virgin Mary?
I do. I am very religious, and I do believe that they should be that way.
Why is there more religious pressure on men to be sacrificed than there's religious pressure on women to be virgins?
Honestly, I feel like that answer is answered depending on what culture you were born in and what religion you believe in.
If you look at the Bible, it's like women being virgins and like men sacrificing. It's like men aren't expected to sacrifice that much versus if you look like in other countries, like women are expected to cover up and stuff like that. Like men don't have that same expectation.
If religion is a choice, why isn't dying in war also a choice?
I think that's because that's been the standard set for us for years.
Because of the draft, because of government stipulations on who has to go to war and who not. I mean, there hasn't been a draft for a while, but I could see that happening at some point.
Does history justify an injustice that's been taking place?
It plays a part.
Well, why defend the injustice of male sacrifice just because it's happened in the past?
Ooh, you got me.
Wait, what?
It plays a part.
Well, does history justify an injustice that's been taking place?
It plays a part.
Well, why defend the injustice of male sacrifice just because it's happened in the past?
Ooh.